What's up, UGS? We're back from SoundHaven, and holy crap, we had such an amazing time. I mean, that was literally a dream come true to go out and be part of a festival production with world-class artists and world-class sound systems. It was absolutely unbelievable. A complete homie fest. Definitely different than other festivals that I've been to in a more laid back, community oriented sense. It felt like it was very grassroots, but the production and the setup was actually really solid. All of the stages sounded fantastic. They looked fantastic. There was tons of good merch, art, food. I mean, it was just such a great experience. So I wanted to make a video to break this down for you guys, talk about the site map, the load-in, the stage setups, the schedule, kind of what my highlights were, and some of the cool parts of the festival. So let's go. So my responsibilities when it came to the festival were actually really simple. Being on the SubCulture audio team, all I had to do was load in, set up, break down, and load out. That was it. But I really wasn't just going to do that and then go party the whole time. I wanted to make the most out of the experience. And so in talking to some of the guys at the beginning of the fest, they were like, yeah, if you want to chill in the sound booth and observe, we'll show you how we run everything and we'll teach you what you need to know. And you can take a couple turns on the mixer. So I absolutely took them up on that opportunity, spent a lot of time in the sound booth with the audio engineers, and actually got a chance to run the mixer a few times. So that was really fun, being in control of a world-class sound system and learning a new skill and operating front of house. Really fantastic. So they were short-lived. You know, somebody had to go to the bathroom or go get food or whatever, but short-lived nonetheless. Still a great experience. This is SoundHaven's 2026 official site map. There were 4 different stages throughout the festival. The main one was the UFO stage here, and it was set in this amphitheater. This is at the bottom of the hill, and then this all goes up to a hill. So around the outside here, this is kind of the top of the hill, and then around the inside is where everybody brought chairs and kind of, you know, set up for the main stage. And then in the middle, down at the bottom, was the pit where everybody was standing up dancing. But this stage was really fucking top class, amazing. Function 1 sound system that was just colossal. I mean, shook your whole body when it was all the way up. Massive LED screens with a UFO build for the stage. And then they had pyro, lasers, fireworks. I mean, it was just absolutely incredible world-class production at the UFO stage there. Then the second stage, the second biggest stage was the planetary stage here. And that was an HSD rig, Hennessy Sound Design rig. So a little bit bigger than ours. It was the largest deployment of HSD speaker systems ever. So record-breaking sound there. And it was world class as well. I mean, they had lights, lasers, LED screens. They had Truth, Medicine Place, Torch, Distinct Motive. Bunch of people played on it. I mean, that was, once the main stage closed and the other 3 stages opened up, that was one of the best ones for sure. The third stage was the crash site. That was over here nearest all of the GA area, the GA camping. And the crash site's really interesting because it's officially sanctioned by the festival, but they're not like paid to be there. It's all community members that bring equipment and set it up on their own. So they had this massive speaker stage, which the whole stage was built out of speakers basically. And they had projection mapping on the speakers. They had LEDs. They had lasers. It was absolutely phenomenal. I mean, it just blew my mind that they had this setup that was free. I mean, the community just brought it. So that was really cool. Then the 4th stage was our stage down here in the trees called the Couch Stage. And we, SubCulture Audio, partnered up with the Couch Collective to produce the Couch Stage. And so the Couch Collective were the stage managers and production managers, and we ran the audio. So this was really cool. It was a 360 stage, so they put the stage out in the middle, and then the wall of speakers were like back here. So you could go up and stand behind the DJ in front of the speakers and dance, and people did that. I mean, I saw people literally with their heads inside the subwoofers. So it was really cool. And the production on this stage was great too. We had lights, we had lasers, the whole shebang. We also had the clown strippers down there by us, which we'll talk more about, but that was super fun. And yeah, so the general setup was really good, and nothing was too far away. I mean, walking from Planetary to Crash Site, maybe 10 minutes.
I'm stumbling through this shit to the Crash Site. Fourth stage? Third stage? Fourth stage. We're wobbly, boys. Wobbly. I can hear the wobbles in the distance. Documenting it live.
We were camped out here in the RV section nearest the couch stage, and this was actually, I don't think we could have gotten a better camping spot. I mean, we were so close to everything. Right here is the entrance to the main ground, and right here is the porta potties, so easy access there. We were able to get into the couch stage right down here through the trees, and then the staff catering was right back here. So there really wasn't anything that was too far away. Our camping spot was awesome. Inside the grounds, they had vendors and merch and food all along this back area here. And then there was kind of 2 rows here, one facing in and one facing out of vendors and merch. Up here, they had live artists. They had a game room where they had a bunch of TVs set up. They had like UFC, Guitar Hero, Smash Bros, Super Mario Party, like a bunch of free games you could go chill and play. They had a bar, they had fire performers, live glass blowing right here at the top of the hill. It was so cool. And then around the outside over here, there was more merch and art and different vendors over here. So this whole thing was kind of like a crescent hill, and then down inside was where everybody gathered. Down at the front was the pit, and then a lot of people had chairs and couches and tents and stuff set up around the outside. So overall, it was a really, really cool setup. I would give it a 9 out of 10 on setup. I don't think there's much more that they could have done to set it up better other than just more space. I mean, coming from living in Michigan and going to Electric Forest year after year, you kind of get accustomed to that massive festival ground. And so when you go to another festival that's not as big, it's a little different, but it wasn't bad different. It was good different. And for the festival, for what it is, being a homie fest, I thought the setup worked out really well. So kudos to you guys at the SoundHaven production team and site mapping team for setting everything up to flow efficiently and let us have an amazing time. Now that we've talked about the site map a little bit, I want to share the experience of when we got there. So when we were about 30 minutes away, about 20 miles, give or take, we start hearing thunder and seeing lightning in the direction that we're heading. And I pull up the map and I'm like, wow, that looks like right where we're going. So we finally get there and we pull up and they're saying, hey, you guys cannot go in there. It just downpoured here for like 25 minutes and everything is soaked. If you guys drive that trailer back to the couch stage, you guys are going to either get stuck or you're going to tear up all the grounds, and we can't have that before the attendees get here. So unfortunately, you're going to have to sleep in the car. So we got there at like 9 or 10 p.m. after all of us had been like taking shifts sleeping because it was a 21-hour drive. We had 3 blown out tires on the way there. And so everybody was exhausted. We'd already been in the car for almost a whole day, and they're telling us we have to be in there for basically another like 10 hours. So we slept in the car, and then finally when we woke up, they were like, all right, you guys can go back there, but you can't take the trailer back there. So you're going to have to unload the speakers at the top of the hill and take them down there. And we're like, yo, no way. Like there's just no way we can do that. So what we ended up having to do was get a pickup truck at the top of the hill and take the speakers down one by one. So I'll show you guys here what that looked like on the site map. So when we pulled in, we entered in through here, and this is where we made it to the first night. So this is where we slept the first night in our cars. We took a truck hauling a trailer, which had all the subs in it, and then we took a truck hauling the RV, and we took a rental minivan. So we slept in the trucks in the minivan that night right there. And then when we woke up in the morning, they moved us up here, but they told us that's as far as you're going. Now, if you see the problem here, we need to get all these speakers, thousands of pounds of speakers, down into this stage. And so this is kind of a main area right here where people walk from the campsites up to the main area, the grounds of the festival. So it's a very high traffic area. So they did not want us to tear this up with the truck and the trailers and make it all muddy, because it was grassy, but it was very close to being just a total mud pit. And they've said in years past it's just gotten destroyed and been mud the entire time. So what they made us do was they got us a pickup truck. They made us drop the speakers right here, and then we had to take this special route to not go over the soft, squishy spots and tear it up. So we literally got the speakers right here, got the truck, we would go down like this, up like this, around, over, back around, all the way down here, in through here, and backing it up through the trees in through here to unload there. So it took quite a bit of time to unload and get set up. We ended up getting finally set up right before the start of the pre-party. So on Thursday night, we hosted the pre-party, and that started at 6, and we finally were getting audio out at like 5:30. I mean, we made it by the skin on our nuts. Like, it was so close. But, you know, we problem solved. We figured it out. We got everything built, and we were ready for the pre-party. So, all in all, it was cool. We persevered. We made it happen. The pre-party was a blast. Chimera came in and absolutely smashed it. I spent most of the set locked in on the mixer, talking with Victor, one of the owners of SubCulture and the head audio engineer, and watching the music come through on the EQ was absolutely insane, just mind-blowing. I could literally see what I was hearing, and it was so cool to hear that music and be able to connect the dots between what we were seeing. Chimera was sending bass as low as 10 hertz and had a lot in the 20 to 35 range, which you can't really hear, but you definitely feel. It vibrates like crazy. Apparently the new Function 1 and HSD speakers can hit down as low as 22 hertz, so bass producers keep that in mind when producing tracks made for festival systems or clubs. I mean, depending on the systems, you just got to know your shit and research and know what you can play and what not. The game is changing, and at places like SoundHaven, where you've got these production companies like SubCulture and Vero and everybody else that was there had to have these, new systems. It's possible to get down lower. So keep that in mind, man. Keep that in mind.
What's your drink? The universe is calling.
All right, now that we've talked about the site map, the load-in, the pre-party, let's get into the favorite moments, starting with my favorite sets. Coming in first for me was definitely Truth. I had never seen him before, but he absolutely killed it. It was deep, dark, dangerous, definitely. It's been a really long time since I've seen an artist impress me like he did. It was high energy, powerful, creepy, weird, but really cool in the best way. Everybody was getting down. There was so much deep, dark, and dangerous gear there, so it was really cool to see everyone having such a great time. Second place for me was Enzo. It was my first time seeing him as well, and he definitely went heavier than I expected. I'd listened to a decent amount of him before, but not so much in a screamy, wompy bass way, but more so in an emotional, extremely powerful, but soft bass way. I don't know. It was crazy. The visuals and the lasers and productions on his set was just absolutely phenomenal. It was fantastic. So if you haven't seen or heard either of them, definitely check them out and get to studying. Saka's set was the third place for me, and it really was one of the highlights of the festival for me, because about 10 minutes left in his set, it started downpouring rain, okay? And at first I was like, oh, fuck. We started getting the poncho on, and we're like, oh, shit. And then the laser man did his fucking job, and he put up the rainbow lasers, and the rain literally made the sky look like it was glitter. I swear to God, it was not just because I was tripping balls. Look. Yeah, so those are high-power laser beams right there. I mean, that was just incredible. I did not know that that was something that you could experience. I talked to some of the guys, and they were like, yeah, we've seen lasers in the rain before, but I had never seen that, and so it was the first time for me, and I just love that he made the most out of it, and we didn't give a fuck. We stood there in the rain, got soaked, and went back and changed and came back when it stopped raining. So I didn't even care that it rained because I had experienced something new that was so cool to see. So that was definitely something that I'll remember my entire life, 1,000%. On top of everything else, including the amazing sets from Truth, Enzo, Saka, the fucking rainbow lasers, all over everything was getting to actually play my tunes on the couch stage. So basically when we were operating throughout the days, we would go from about noon until 5 during the day, maybe 3 or 4 some days, hosting a party down at the couch while Crash Site was open. And then when the main stage would open at like 3 or 4 or 5, we would close down. Everybody would go back to camp. We would meet up with our friends that were in the main stage that had spots locked down for us with tents, chairs, couches, blankets, coolers, whatever. And we would go out and meet them out there and bring chairs and chill and, sit, and people would go in the pit and come back. And that was kind of our spot to retreat to if anybody wanted to go do anything. And then the main stage would end around midnight, and we would go back down to couch stage, which is where we would open. So whoever had to go run audio would go down there a bit earlier, but then we would eventually, after we all kind of ended from main stage, moved our stuff, some would go to the planetary stage to watch that, and I usually was going to the couch stage just to hang out down there. I went to the planetary stage and the crash stage quite a few times each, but I didn't spend a ton of time at either of them, except for we watched the whole Distinct Motive set. We watched the whole Medicine Place set when Medicine Place brought out Truth at the end, which was sick. So that was really cool. Glad I spent that time there. But so when we were down at the couch stage one day, it was the first full day. So Thursday, I was talking to Freddie, who was running audio at the time, and I was like, hey, do you think in that time between when we close, like at 5 o'clock, before we go up to camp to get ready for main stage, can I test like 2, 3, 4 songs, whatever, on the speakers? Because he's told me in the past he'll let me. And so he was like, yeah. So I went over to the Couch Boys and I was like, yo, can I, after the set is over, just like test a few songs on the speakers? And they were like, yeah, they're originals. I was like, yeah. And they were like, okay, yeah, cool. We'll check them out. And so I played Make You with Tandra, the collab that he started and sent over to me, and I made the second drop for it. We're still kind of working on it, but I had an initial render that I wanted to test out and see where everything was at, and it fucking hit. And the Couch Boys came over and they were like, this is sick. One of the other DJs that has actually released on Subsidy before Sunken Frequencies was making sure that his USB was good on the CDJs next to me while I was testing them, and he was like, this is fucking sick too. And then I played High Power Laser Beam, which you just heard over top of the Rainbow Lasers section, and they like that one too. And so I was talking to Groover, who is actually an artist and DJ named Tumaju from the Couch Collective, and he was like, dude, we're having a Couch family back to back the last night of the festival, so if you want to come down and spin some tunes, we'd love to have you. And so I was like, oh fuck yeah, I'll be there. It's fucking 3:30 a.m., but I'll fucking be there. And so I was super excited about that. And then the next day after I tested it, I was there in the morning, and I had spent the whole, most of the day there from like noon to 3. I think we closed early that day, or earliest out of the days. And I was chilling, and I said to Freddie, he was running audio again, I was like, I think I'm going to go into the main stage and get a patch me to see if any of the vendors are open, because it had gotten cooler the 2 nights before, and I didn't really bring any cool clothes because it's summer and we're in Tennessee. I brought like 2 hoodies, but they were just kind of plain, and I wanted something, kind of for the festival. And so he was like, well, just hang on a sec, because these artists are 11 minutes over and the other artist hasn't shown up yet. And so we might be able to throw you up there. And I was like, oh shit. Okay, cool. And so we waited another few minutes and nobody showed up. So I went up there. He was like, yeah, go up there. And so I went up and I told him, I was like, hey, they told me to come up here and tell you the next artist didn't show up, and they were just going to have me sub in. I'm, an artist that has released on Subsidy before. I'm part of the SubCulture team, whatever. And they were like, all right, cool. Well, can we like finish this song and then we'll make an announcement and then we'll bring you up and we could just all go back to back? And I was like, yeah, sure, fuck it. And so I stepped down. They made an announcement. They were like, well, our homie's coming up. They didn't even fucking know my name yet. But I appreciate them letting me come up and play. It was really sick. So I went up and I played a few songs, mixed in Park Breezy Ice Spice remix, and played a couple other like older originals that I had, because I wanted to hear them on the speakers, and it sounded really good, and they were dapping me up and shit. It was super fun. It kind of was a little messy, so I stepped down after I played mine. It got a little messy, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna dip. I'm not gonna spend too much time. I'll let you guys play. But yeah, it was really fun. And then the family back to back, I was watching, and because it was the last part of the festival, everybody was like down there, and so there was maybe like 200-300 people. The other stages were open too, but it was fucking packed, and it was so funny because everybody was so fucked up that was DJing, and like it was just train wreck after train wreck. But it was fun, and so we went up there and we played 2 songs, and I could have definitely mixed better. It was super chaotic. There was like 4 people on this tiny stage, and I brought the volume and hot a little bit on the first one, and then the second one, I was playing a song that was a little bit higher tempo at a slower tempo. 75 is the song tempo, and I was playing it at 70 because they were all at 140, and it just didn't really hit like I wanted to, so I kind of started to bump it up, and I don't know. I felt like I kind of flopped it a little bit, but everybody dabbed me up and said it was sick, and like I messaged Tumaju, one of the Couch Collective guys, after, and was like, dude, nice to meet you. Thanks for, having us out. It's great to work with you. Really appreciate you letting me play. And he was like, dude, killed it. So, I think it was what it was. I'm a perfectionist, but I'm super thankful to have gotten to play. I didn't get any video of me playing at that last set, but I did get a video of my homie and teammate Wusu, who is owner of SubCulture Audio, one of the owners, and is a DJ and producer as well. And he played right before me, or a few artists before me. There was kind of like a rotation going, and so I took like 2 videos of him because I just wanted to send them to him. And so this is kind of what it looked like during that set. But anyway, that set was so fun. The stage was so sick. I mean, everybody that helped run it was so awesome to work with. It was such good vibes the whole weekend. Those were some of my favorite moments down there. Like I said, I spent most of my time down there getting to know everybody and really hanging out with the crew as much as possible. And, like I said earlier, we did have the clown strippers down there too. So I got an honorable mention at the end of the favorite moments, some of their moments there. So they came in. Obviously, you saw they did the pole dancing, but they also did a Deepthroat competition. I'm not kidding you, a literal Deepthroat competition. They pulled out a table, and it had 3 fat-ass dildos on it. They put it right by our merch stand, and they started going around with a fucking megaphone yelling that they're doing this competition, trying to get people to not only do it, but watch it. And so when they were talking about it at first, I was like, I honestly didn't think they were serious. Like, she mentioned it, and nobody really said anything. At least when I heard it, and I don't know if they were talking about it before, but me and Freddie were sitting in the audio booth, and it was me, Freddie, and Victor, and we saw them go by, 2 girls, 2 girls going by with the table, and 3 dildos suction cup to it, and they're carried across the front of house booth, and we just look at each other, and I was like, no way they're actually doing it. So I go and peek out, and they're setting up right by the merch stand, and so I peek back in, and I was like, guys, they're setting up by the merch stand, so I think I'm gonna go help sell merch for a little bit. And so while I was selling merch, I also thought that, well, maybe I should just record this as well, potentially. So here you go. I'm sorry, but you're welcome. But I'm sorry. You fucking perv. Stop watching that. If you thought that was bad, on the last night, they did Jello wrestling at the stripper pole, and they eventually poured milk in the Jello, and were rolling around in the milk in the Jello. And then apparently, I didn't see this, but apparently some dude scooped it up with a bottle and poured it on the clown stripper's foot and drank that shit. Yeah, so that's how SoundHaven went. It was fucking crazy, an incredible experience. Will remember it the rest of my life. Absolutely, definitely one of the best festivals I've been to. On the smaller side for sure, world-class vibes, world-class audio. Oh man, it was so much fun. I am just so thankful to have been invited and to be a part of the team. So shout out to all of the guys on the SubCulture team and everybody that was there along with us and everybody that put on the show. Subsidy, fucking Couch Collective, Vero, I mean everybody, Sacred Hive, and everybody else that was involved with it. It was just so much fun. It was, you know, a celebration of life and art and music and sound system culture. And I just couldn't be more thankful to be a part of it. So, yeah, really appreciate you guys watching the video. Thank you for supporting the mission at UGS. We are so excited to be back. We got a lot of big things planned. Beat Battle coming up this month and more. So stay on the lookout for that, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Yeah.